Imagine a time when our ancestors roamed the African savannas, scavenging and foraging for survival. Now, imagine that a strange fungus enters the picture. A psychedelic mushroom that would, according to one man, spark the birth of language, art, and even our very consciousness. Could a single type of mushroom really explain how we became human? To understand the stoned ape theory, we first need to meet the man behind it, Terence McKenna. Born in 1946, McKenna grew up with a fascination for the strange and the mystical. As a young man, he dived headfirst into the counterculture movement of the 1960s, absorbing new ideas about consciousness, spirituality, and psychedelics. In his early 20s, Terence set off to South America in search of the truth. He found himself among shamans in the Amazon jungle, where he was introduced to powerful psychedelic plants like ayahuasca and the mushrooms that would become central to his theories. For McKenna, this wasn't just about exploring his own consciousness. He was convinced that these substances held the key to unlocking humanity's mysteries. So, what exactly is the stoned ape theory? According to McKenna, early humans, our pre-human ancestors, likely stumbled upon psilocybin mushrooms around 200,000 years ago in Africa. McKenna believed that as they foraged, these early hominins encountered these mushrooms, which grew in the dung of large animals, and curiosity led them to try this unusual food. But it wasn't just a novel snack. McKenna argued that the effects of psilocybin, a powerful psychoactive compound in these mushrooms, created changes in the brain. He believed that consuming these mushrooms boosted our ancestors' brain function in several key areas that would later define humanity itself. According to McKenna, psilocybin increased visual acuity, sharpened the senses, and could have even given early humans a slight edge as hunters and gatherers. But it did more than just improve vision. McKenna claimed that psilocybin also led to heightened creativity and deeper insights, which could have sparked the development of art, language, and culture. He even suggested that psilocybin might have encouraged social bonding and empathy. In small doses, the drug can increase feelings of openness, trust, and connection to others. In the harsh prehistoric world, this newfound social cohesion would have been a huge survival advantage. To appreciate the stoned ape theory fully, we need to consider the environment of early humans. During the Pleistocene epoch, changing climates led our ancestors to explore new territories, pushing them out of the forests and into the savannas. This shift increased their chances of encountering different types of food, one of which, McKenna proposed, was psilocybin mushrooms. But here's where it gets even more interesting. McKenna believed that these mushrooms didn't just enhance individual survival, they fundamentally transformed the minds of our ancestors over time, influencing their evolution and giving rise to our modern consciousness. McKenna's ideas on psilocybin's role in cognitive evolution are bold. One area he was particularly fascinated with was the potential for these mushrooms to inspire the development of language. After all, psychedelics tend to enhance inner dialogue and can produce visions that defy ordinary perception. McKenna proposed that the visions and enhanced mental connections sparked by psilocybin use could have led to the birth of symbolic thinking, the very foundation of language. This theory remains unproven, but it adds a fascinating twist to the story of human evolution. But not everyone is convinced by the stoned ape theory. In fact, mainstream science has largely dismissed it as speculative. While there's no doubt that psychedelics affect brain activity and perception, Critics argue that McKenna's ideas are nearly impossible to test and lack any direct fossil or genetic evidence. However, recent research on psychedelics is beginning to show that they can indeed stimulate neurogenesis, or the creation of new brain cells. This doesn't confirm McKenna's theory, but it does suggest that psilocybin and similar compounds may have cognitive enhancing effects.
Despite the controversy, McKenna's stoned ape theory has had a huge impact on psychedelic culture and even beyond. In the 1990s and early 2000s, McKenna's lectures and books brought the idea of psychedelics as a tool for cognitive enhancement into mainstream consciousness. Artists, musicians, and even scientists became fascinated with the idea. Today, we're in the midst of a psychedelic renaissance. Clinical research into psilocybin is finding real benefits for treating mental health conditions, from depression and anxiety to PTSD. Although these studies don't directly support McKenna's theory, they're sparking a renewed interest in the cognitive potential of psychedelics. The theory has since become a staple in discussions about the potential for psychedelics to transform the mind and society, inspiring a new generation of thinkers, researchers, and psychopaths. Today, we're in the midst of a psychedelic renaissance. Clinical research into psilocybin is finding real benefits for treating mental health conditions, from depression and anxiety to PTSD. Although these studies don't directly support McKenna's theory, they're sparking a renewed interest in the cognitive potential of psychedelics. Some scientists are even exploring how psychedelics can promote plasticity and learning in the brain, which lends some credibility to McKenna's more radical ideas. Whether you believe in the stoned ape theory or not, there's no denying that it's an audacious idea that captures the imagination. Terence McKenna's vision of early humans transforming through psychedelics might be speculative, but it also raises some profound questions. What role have our environments and our diets played in shaping us? And could substances like psychedelics still be influencing our evolution today? So, next time you ponder the mysteries of consciousness, remember the story of the stoned ape. After all, evolution is a wild journey, and sometimes the wildest theories make us question what we thought we knew. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this exploration of Terence McKenna's stoned ape theory, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. Could mushrooms really have played a big role in human history?